Hey guys, it's me, Tyler MV.
And I'm Sterling G.
And welcome to the Game Savvy Podcast. So today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, the early road to E3, we've got God of War reactions, we're talking about the new Nintendo president, as well as some Pokemon Snap. Right after a message from these sponsors. Are you tired of the same old? Are you looking for excitement in your life? Well, we've got just the thing for you. Try John Marston's Bear Hunting Adventure. Venture deep into the wilderness. Deeper. A little more. Whoop! Too deep. That's gonna leave a mark. On this adventure, you'll find a bear. Or multiple bears will find you. Here you can hunt any way you like throwing a punch, cowering on garbage, or just setting yourself on fire. After a weekend of John Marston's Bear Hunting Adventure, you'll feel like a new man. Just ask good old Leroy.
Before I was unfulfilled and I didn't even feel like a man. Then I punched a bear. Now I feel like a real man. Thanks, John Marston.
Looking good, young fella. Yes, you'll feel like John Marston himself after you take part in John Marston's Bear Hunting Adventure. You'll enjoy the fresh air of the West and transform yourself from out of place to outlaw. Just like John Marston! After a trip to John Marston's Bear Hunting Adventure, you'll feel good as new. Your satisfaction guaranteed, so call now!
John Marston's Bear Hunting Adventure is not responsible for any cuts, bruises, deaths, or for any customers getting eaten alive. May cause cuts, bruises, death, or you might get eaten alive. Restrictions apply, batteries not included.
So man, how was your weekend?
Good.
Yeah.
I beat God of War.
Nice.
So I can't, obviously there's more to do, but, once you're done, it's like a chapter of my life is over.
Yeah. I saw some people on Twitter, that couldn't really, get over it. They were still,
Who needs, college education? It's the God of War. Once you're done God of War, then a new chapter of life starts.
I got to see Avengers this weekend. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I saw it too.
If you guys haven't seen Avengers, go see it. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Especially for a comic book geek like me, there was a lot of little Easter eggs in there and stuff. And I think they did the story justice, considering what they had to work with. Yeah, I think it was awesome. But I won't get into any spoilers or anything like that. But yeah, it was really good. And last week I got to go to the launch party for Pizza Titan Ultra by friends of the show Breakfall, makers of Star Wall. Mm-hmm. So if you guys have that opportunity, you should definitely go to Steam and buy some Pizza Titan Ultra because it's a fantastic game. And they were giving out free pizza and free beer. And honestly, the pizza boxes, there was 3 stacks. I didn't eat any because I call myself a gluteus maximus. But it's just gluten free, so.
That makes you sound fat. That's
I
bad.
find gluteus maximus just sounds tougher. You know? No? Okay.
It's kinda.
I'm the only one.
Like a tough fat guy.
Speaking of tough fat guys, Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer just dropped. The Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer just dropped.
Talking about fat ass cowboys.
So, what did you think of the trailer after just watching it?
I don't know. I'm very excited. I told you, I've been playing GTA 5 lately.
Yeah.
And
it's getting you in the mood for Red
Dead Redemption.
Kinda, yeah.
But because Rockstar is known for making gold, right?
Yeah. Everything they put out is amazing.
But here's the thing. I'm not doubting Red Dead 2, but people are again acting like this is going to be the greatest thing ever. And I get why they do. I get why they do, hype and all. But I feel as a consumer, you should always at least have a little bit of optimism. Not, I guess I shouldn't say optimism, but
skepticism.
Skepticism, yeah. Because, I've heard Rockstar is kind of focusing more on the money making aspect,
microtransactions and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm a little worried about that. I'm sure the story and gameplay is going to be fun as hell.
Actually, the story is one thing that I'm actually skeptical about.
Really,
the reason I love Red Dead Redemption is because you guys play as the hero.
Yeah,
and most Rockstar games, you're pretty much a monster.
Yeah,
right. All Grand Theft Auto games, you play as a monster. You're just killing and robbing and stuff. And so I love Red Dead because you get to be the hero. You save your family. You I don't know, save a whole bunch of people.
You can still kill a ton of people.
You could. You had that option, but that wasn't the main goal. Whereas in Grand Theft Auto, I feel that is kind of the main goal. But yeah, in this one, just based off the trailer, it kind of seems like you're playing as a villain. Yeah. And there might be a redemption story halfway through, but I was kind of
disappointed with that. Who's the main character? What's his name?
Morgan. something.
Yeah.
Something more.
He could be like the voice of reason within like the gang type deal.
I'm kind of thinking that like hopefully like halfway through the game he's like I don't want to do this anymore. Like I've seen, I don't know, something.
My worry is that like you're in the same gang as John Marston, right? The earlier protagonist. I'm worried that that's kind of gonna like overshadow the new main character. Like whenever John's on screen, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, it's the old guy."
Do you think he's gonna be?
Yeah, he was shown in the trailer.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I completely missed it.
For like 2 seconds.
Dang, I completely missed it.
Yeah.
Cool. I know one thing that I am like really pumped about this game is that it just looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Like even just like there's this shot of a town. I'm gonna throw some highlights up there for you guys. There's this just like shot of a town and it's just like lively and colorful, even though like the West is basically not very colorful and stuff. Mm-hmm. There's this one scene where they're sitting around a campfire and they're showing like a starry night sky and stuff, and it just looks gorgeous. So I'm like really excited to see the landscape they kind of come up with.
Yeah, this would have been a good like segue if we were talking about God of War next. But
well, we'll get into God of War.
Somebody like compared Red Dead to God of War, like the graphics, and like they do not compare. God of War looks so much better. But to be fair, like again, Rockstar's games are always so massive.
Yeah,
like,
they are. They're
like
huge.
just I don't blame them at all for like being a bit cheaper with how their game looks. Not that it looks bad in any way, but still.
So you played Red Dead Redemption 1, right?
Yeah.
What's one thing that you loved about the game that you hope they kind of like do keep it up in this game?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know if I can remember. I played Red Dead like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while, definitely. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I definitely love the hunting. I thought the hunting was one of the best parts. Like it was tough to find a snake, and you'd be like riding on your horse, and you would just hear that like, and you'd have to like turn around, right? I remember spending like a couple hours just trying to find a raccoon, and just stuff like that. Like I love like when hunting is really hard. Really
go outside. I have a few raccoons outside. But I remember. So I played Red Dead, whatever. After a couple months, I was at my friend Dalton's, and another guy brought Red Dead, the zombie expansion, the Undead Nightmare.
Yeah.
And we were playing it. I was like, "This is amazing."
I've never played it. Is it?
What?
Yeah, I think I own it. I just never played it.
What?
Yeah, I have it in my house.
Yeah.
I just never put it on.
It's so good.
Yeah,
especially they have like kind of like a Call of Duty Zombies mode, but it's literally just like you get dropped in a town as like a couple people, and like that you have to fend off the zombies. So imagine like Call of Duty Zombies, but in like a GTA style game, right?
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. It gets hard. Like you can get better guns and stuff, and like you still don't last that long.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I would like to check that out. Do you think they'll do like something undead for this version?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
I think bottom line, I'm just like really pumped to get back into like the Western world. Like we don't have too many Western games. Yeah, exactly. Really, Red Dead Redemption's like the only one I can think of.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be like really nice to just jump back into that world and just be a cowboy for a little bit. So as weird as that sounds, but yeah, pretty excited for that. Mm-hmm. Speaking of new things, Nintendo has a new president.
Yep.
What a great segue. So talk to me. So what is this new president going to do for Nintendo?
So, one of the big things that people are saying is that they had a stand-in president, right, for a couple of years since what's his name died, Iwata or whatever his name was.
Iwata. We should mention the president's name is Tatsumi Kimishima.
Yeah, and
son. It's respect, man. Kimishima.
Okay. Should I call you senpai? Or I guess you would call... No. Yeah, I call you senpai because you're like my elder.
I guess. Thanks for making me feel really old, man. Jesus.
So what the old presidents would do, from what I've seen and heard, is that they would only talk to a few people about like certain decisions, like Miyamoto, because he's such a high-ranking guy in Nintendo. But what this new dude wants to do is he like gathers a lot of people, no matter what sort of job they have in Nintendo, even if they're like they design like one coin in one level of Mario, and they sit down and chat, and like that's how he makes decisions.
Is that necessarily a good thing though? Do you think that in some cases there'd be like too many cooks, too many opinions?
Well, no, not like everyone, but like so obviously Nintendo's run by a bunch of old dudes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Who are, they're starting to get a little ripe.
Yeah.
What this dude wants to do
nice way to put old and dying, but okay.
He wants to bring in like younger people and get their opinion because like obviously they're gonna know a bit more about what the video game landscape is.
Yeah, what's current, what's hip, cool.
Basically, this is like as soon as he got named. Basically, what he said is like, I love Miyamoto, he's a great guy, but like I'm his boss now.
Dang.
He's gonna have to listen to me.
Instantly asserting that dominance.
Yeah.
That's good, actually, though. You have to.
Well, I've heard Miyamoto can be super stubborn.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, when you have that much credibility and you have that conviction, like you know what a good game is, and you fight for it, and that not all like that can sometimes get like, I would say, blocked by his ego. Like I could see it like kind of like the conviction of the ego kind of crossing.
It can always create like creative like stagnation, I think is the word.
Like if it's always his way, then it's only going to be one way, and there's other people who have ideas too. So
that's basically what he said. Is like other people are going to have great ideas too. Like again, maybe he wants to make the next Miyamoto, like some little dude at Nintendo.
So if this new president came out and made one announcement at E3, what announcement would you like him to make? As a company, not just like a game or anything, but as a company.
Well, actually, there's one thing that I'm kind of scared of that he said, is that they're going to focus more on the mobile gaming.
See, that's the one thing I want to hear. I want more Nintendo Mobile.
No.
Yes.
I like Fire Emblem Heroes. I understood like the Animal Crossing blah blah blah, but like
Animal Crossing's not that good, by the way.
But then again, they're gonna put like Mario Kart on there, and then there's Mario Run.
Just put old school Pokemon on iOS.
But they're not gonna do that. You know they're not.
I know, but just do it.
And even if they are, you know what they're gonna do? What? They're gonna be like, if you want another Pokemon, you're gonna have to pay $10.
I'm okay with $10. If you put like Pokemon Blue version, like the original game, on my mobile phone, I will pay $20 for it.
No, I mean like you buy the game, $5, $10, whatever, and then you get your starter, and then you go to catch another Pokemon. No. Got paid another $10.
No, I don't think they would do.
I think they would.
Microtransactions and stuff.
Yeah, they do in Fire Emblem Heroes, and I'm pretty sure they do in Mario Run Animal Crossing.
They do have some in Animal Crossing, but you can play the entire game without doing it. But
they would find some way to implement them. I think they would, in my opinion. Yeah. And what the old president said, Iwata, was that we're gonna do mobile gaming to push people towards our traditional games.
Yeah.
And the new president said, like, we're just going to make mobile games.
It's weird, and like I was going to talk about this later on, but I might as well bring it up now. So we had Cecilia Schramm, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. She wrote a good piece on Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. And, it was like a pretty, like, rational review, I would say. But the one thing that's, like, really bringing the game down is those microtransactions.
I heard that, too, a lot about the game. Yeah. Like, literally, you play... 5 minutes in, boom, you're hit with a wall of, you gotta wait or pay.
Which is crazy, because, like, why is it that whenever it's on mobile, people just, like, do that? Like, that's the platform. I hate it. Why is it... I don't understand. Like, you put it on a mobile platform, and then it's like, we're gonna put paywalls, we're gonna put bottlenecks, we're gonna put...
Why can't we be like Belgium and just ban, like
at that point, it's not actually a game. Like, there's no flow, like, there's disruption. It's really just, like, a weird, unsexy transaction process.
I instantly lose respect and stop playing when it happens.
It's almost like it's not a game, it's a software. It's an app, right?
I understand when it's something like Fortnite that's free to play and you're just paying for skins. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing this great game for free, whatever. But as soon as I'm hit with, like, oh, you have to wait an hour, or oh, you have to pay to continue. Nah, I'm done.
And I did read an article on Game Savvy called, like, what's a good microtransaction? Because I really do think that there is such thing as a good microtransaction. I think I also recorded a video on this earlier on the channel, but it's just like, I think a really good platform is like Pokemon Go. I think is amazing. Like I've spent at least like $20 on that game. Just like, and it's crazy because you don't need to. Like, you can play the entire game without spending a cent. Mm-hmm. Like, I could technically go to all the Pokestops and get as many Pokeballs as I want. But the thing is, it's inconvenient a little bit. But is it, though, to walk down the street and, like, get some Pokeballs and come back?
It all depends on, like, what you value in your game.
Exactly.
If you're, like, downloading Pokemon Go, knowing you're going to have to walk somewhere, then I bet you don't mind.
Exactly. And so it's just, like, I think there's a good way to do it, and for some reason, these people just can't figure it out.
Well, like, you're the marketing whiz, right? Like, that was the appeal of Pokemon Go. Like, I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah.
How you market your game. Like, when it was first, like, doing the rounds of what people were saying, Pokemon Go was you're gonna have to go out and catch Pokemon.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
And what I like about Pokemon Go too is like, let's say like it's supposed to be this immersive experience, right? You're supposed to be immersed in the world of Pokemon, like it's supposed to be within reality. And it makes sense to be able to buy Pokeballs because you would think people in the Pokemon universe would have to buy their Pokeballs. They wouldn't just come to them for free. You have to do it in the game, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like that's actually a part of the lifestyle that people would live in Pokemon. Yeah. Whereas in this Hogwarts mystery game, it's kind of just like, you know, like pay whatever jewels to like get out of this situation. And it's like, no, like that wouldn't happen in actual Hogwarts.
Well, yeah, like when this game was first announced, basically they said like, oh, it's Pokemon Go, but Hogwarts. Yeah. Instantly, I was like, I'm not interested. Yeah. Anytime they market a game as, oh, it's like this game,
you're just getting the same experience with different skins.
Not even. It's like they're trying to like run with that wind of like, oh, it's Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No. Like, even if your game is heavily influenced, say like Donkey Kong Country, they're not like, it's just like Mario Bros. Like, that's not what they did. Yeah. This is just Donkey Kong.
Each game should be their own thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I understand having similar models, but like the mechanics and the experience should be completely different.
Exactly.
And a lot of especially on mobile, there's a lot of people just copying other successful things. Like when Flappy Bird got big, how many clones and stuff came out? Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
I think there's this weird perception that like mobile gaming is this easy money grab. Like, I can make some crappy game, put it on mobile, and make a ton of money.
Yeah.
And maybe there are some people out there that are doing that, but it's kind of like really just making the mobile gaming experience really crappy, which is why I want Nintendo's seal of approval. I would like some big game companies that are actually making some like IPs. And Nintendo has a mobile specific, like brand new IP coming out like just for mobile.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah. Anyways, so
I'm glad, like, again, if you want to play Nintendo mobile games, all to you. Like, I know a ton of people that play Fire Emblem Heroes, and if it's making them a ton of money, that's even better. I'm pretty sure Fire Emblem Heroes is starting to get into, like, $1 billion of revenue.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah, I'm curious as to... I'm not going to be able to find the game. I'll do a piece on it another time, but... Yeah, anyways, that's my beef with the mobile gaming. That's kind of my beef with Hogwarts Mystery. Like, she did like a lot of the game, but, like, the bottleneck was just, like, so ridiculous. And I know that... Matt from Scholarly Gamers, head of Scholarly Gamers, he also had the same problem. And I think he actually contacted them. I think he actually, like, his thumb slipped or something. He accidentally purchased something. There's not even, like, a do you want to purchase this option? He just, like, accidentally bought something. And they were just like, sorry, we don't do refunds. He's like, are you kidding me? Like, so there's some huge
Imagine if it was that, like $100 package or something.
Yeah.
Like, that could happen.
Yeah. Well... Mobile gaming is mobile gaming, and I hope it gets better one day. Cause
do you think it will, though? Do you honestly? Do you like mobile gaming?
Yeah, I do. I love mobile gaming. Like, I got to play Bastion on mobile, and that's like one of the best games I've ever played. There's so many like creative things you can do with mobile as well. Like, we just played Taxter Games, The Midnight Show, which was really good. So
I don't like when they put like traditional style like console games, even handhelds, on mobile. Like, I think they've put most of the early Final Fantasy games on mobile, but, like, redone them with 3D graphics, and I haven't heard many people say they like it.
I like a lot more simple games.
Yeah.
Like, there's some platforming games on there. Tiny Dungeons, I think, is another one. I think it's called. And it's fantastic. It's so good. So much fun. Yeah. Like, I would have paid way more money for that game, but it was, like, pretty cheap, so...
Then people got really mad that Mario Run was $10.
Yeah, that was kind of expensive. It's one of those things that if they released like the original Mario, like people would pay $10 for it.
Yeah.
But Mario Run wasn't a good enough experience, I think, to pay like $10 for it. Because it was this weird, like, I mean, the whole thing with Mario is that the mechanics are, you know, you're in control of the jump and movement and stuff. But this one, he's constantly, and I don't know, it kind of just like missed the mark, I think, a little bit as to what made Mario special in the first place. So
if you could play as Waluigi, I'd pay $10.
So next on our list is State of Decay 2.
No, you missed one.
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. So Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is coming out for the Nintendo Switch. Yeah. So this actually got some really great reviews.
Yeah. People are saying
9 out of 10 on IGN and a 9 out of 10 on GameSpot.
People are saying it's one of the best platformers ever. Or side-scrollers platformers? Which one is it? Both?
Yeah. But that's insane.
Yeah.
So have you played Tropical Freeze at all?
No, me and my friend Casey have been playing the first the reboot Donkey Kong Country on Wii. And then we were talking about getting Tropical Freeze, and like I'm so interested.
Yeah.
It looks so
what
cool.
kind of like interests you about it?
People are saying it's really difficult, first of all.
Yeah, I just saw an article, I think it was on Kotaku, that was like, it's pleasantly difficult.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice to see.
You're gonna see, like, it's the Dark Souls of platform.
Oh my god, it's so annoying.
Ugh.
Remember when games just used to be hard?
Yeah.
Like, in period, there was no Dark Souls to it. Like, just because a game is hard doesn't make it anything like Dark Souls. Yeah. It's so ridiculous. Like, Cuphead and Dark Souls have nothing in common.
Yeah,
like nothing.
It's just difficult.
Yeah. So it is pleasantly difficult. That's great. I'm glad that Donkey Kong's kind of getting the spotlight he deserves, because I think he's like a really great character. Do we have him on our iconic characters list?
Yep.
Cool. So he's going to be on our top most iconic video game characters list, which is coming out very soon.
Check
hopefully
it
by
out.
next week, by next
Check
podcast.
Check it out.
I'm going to gif that. Yeah, anything else about Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze?
I really hope it does pave the way for more Donkey Kong games.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I love the 3 original Donkey Kong Country, and the newest one I'm playing is fun.
I haven't played a Donkey Kong game in like forever, man. Like, I don't think like since like Donkey Kong 64.
Really? Do you like Donkey Kong 64? It's kind of infamous for some people love it, some people hate it.
I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Yeah, the mechanics were like pretty difficult to use, but I thought it was amazing.
What I love about the Donkey Kong franchise is that like they totally like forget about old characters. Like, you don't play as like Chunky Kong anymore.
Or Lanky Kong, or yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's very true. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is coming out to the Nintendo Switch, and yeah, kind of hoping it does well. Kind of reboots the Donkey Kong franchise.
It's like number 1 on a few charts.
That's sick.
Yeah. Something like it. I think it's beating out God of War right now. No. Not like it's not getting like 3 million copies sold in like 3 days, but it's selling really well.
So speaking of God of War, you just finished God of War.
Yeah. Oof.
How did you like it?
So like,
I have not played it for the record.
So like, I'm very interested. It's that infamous, like, everyone is saying it's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, right? Everyone's saying it's a masterpiece. I
agree, but like, here's my dilemma. At first, I was like, this is not 10 out of 10. This is not a perfect game.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think any game is perfect. Like, obviously, nothing is 100% perfect.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I was like, why is it getting all this, like, 10 out of 10? But then, like, when you have a rating scale, even we don't, right? Like, we don't employ a rating scale on Game Savvy.
Yeah.
But other sites do. When you do, you have that 10 or 100 because, like, something has to be 10 or 100. Like, you're not going to say, like, oh, we're never going to give something a 10. Well, why is it 1 out of 10?
Yeah, IGN is on record with saying that, like, a 10 out of 10 game isn't 100% perfect.
Yeah.
It's just that it classifies as a masterpiece. Like, it kind of transcends the genre into something that's not just a game, but, like, a piece of art, basically.
Yeah.
And so it's, they've come out and said, like, nothing is perfect. Everything has flaws, but it doesn't mean it's not a 10 out of 10 game.
I'll talk about the things I don't like at first, just to get out of the way.
Cool, yeah.
First of all, some of the bosses and mini bosses are identical. Like, the same. They are literally the same.
Yeah.
At first, the combat's kind of like basic.
Yeah.
But by the end, it's like I literally felt like.
What is the combat like? I don't even know. I haven't even really seen anybody like play it. Instead of like hack and slash and roll and
it's more like strategic. It's way more like strategic than hack and slash. Like, during one of the end game bosses, like, you have to use strategy.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
there's like spells and stuff you can use too.
No, you have like runic attacks, which are like kind of like magic.
Yeah.
Like, the one I used was like you slam the axe down and like frost comes out everywhere and like damages all the enemies.
Does it slow them down at all?
Yeah.
I love those kind of like AoE, like crowd control.
One of the moves, you get like a special, like, I can't even remember what it's called. It's like one special move and it takes forever to like cool down. And one of it's literally just slowing down time. And my roommate Casey, we were talking about the game and he's talking about the Valkyrie bosses, which are like an after game, like, bunch of bosses you face. Cool. He's having a ton of difficulty with them. I'm like, just get the move where you slow down time. He's like, what? He's like, you can slow down time? I'm like, yeah, man, it's such a lifesaver.
Yeah. That's such a great gaming moment, which we don't have anymore. Right?
Yeah.
Because everything's online. There's always walkthroughs and stuff. And so, like, that whole experience of like having your friend come over and like, oh, by the way, like this secret's in the game, or like you didn't know about this, or like that's kind of cool that you had that moment.
Another thing is like I get Kratos is like this grumpy old hates everything, but like sometimes that makes for like boring dialogue. Like Atreus would be like, yeah, Dad, blah blah blah, and he's just like, quiet, shut up, and like that's it. Like that's end of conversation. It's
cease to exist.
Yeah, literally. Dad. Like, boy, get over here.
So that's most of the stuff that kind of stood out like negatively, but like what were some of the major positives of the game?
The game looks amazing. Mm-hmm. It plays amazing. I think there was probably 2 times where I was like, holy shit, like this looks good.
Yeah.
Like, again, by the end of the game when I beat the like end game boss, not end game boss, like the after game boss, like the secret hidden boss.
Yeah.
The Valkyrie Queen. I felt like a God of War. Like That's sick. Like literally, it's just like you're just like slashing, like hitting them, and then you just like rip its wings off, and you're just like,
that's amazing.
And like even like I think I beat it at like 7. I stayed up all night to do it.
Yeah.
It probably took me like 50 tries. By the end, like when I was just ripping those wings off, I was like,
that's awesome. So one game that does that really well too is the Lord of the Rings series, the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. Like by the end of it, like you feel like a god, when you're, like ripping through orcs and stuff, because you gradually just get more powerful as you go along. So I'm kind of glad that like God of War has the same experience. Where, so do you start off like not very powerful, or does it like
you can kill like you're just like base level Kratos, you just have the axe, whatever.
Yeah, but do you get like more and more powerful as you go through the game?
Oh, you got way better moves. You're like you get more health, get more rage, like stuff like that. Way better armor.
That's pretty awesome.
Do you want to like cut this part and spoil a bit for you? Are you gonna play it ever? Do you think?
Probably not, to be honest, because like the odds of me buying like a PS4 at this point is probably like out of the question. So
can I tell you then?
Yeah, go for it.
You get his
wait, spoiler alert. Yeah. So just
put like something over this, like put me telling you, then you're like, you get the Blades of Chaos, like his original blades.
Oh dang!
Yeah, probably like halfway through the game, and it's so sweet. Like your son gets sick, and then he's like, oh, I have to go like back home to get something, and it's the blades, and it's just like holy shit. And then another thing is that your kid doesn't know he's a god, right? And then you eventually tell him blah blah blah. The end of the game is like you're spreading your wife's ashes, and you see like a mural on the side of the mountain, and it's him and his son doing all the shit they did.
Yeah.
And the end one is like Kratos dying. Like I think it was his son like killing him, because that's like
prophecy.
Like gods always have sons, and the son kills the dad. But then the kid is like, Dad, how come I had a different name on like the stone? He's like, that's because we gave you like a different name at birth. And he's like, oh, well, Loki's a weird name. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Dang. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So do you think there's going to be another God of War?
Yeah, they already said there is. I think like somebody reported that Corey, whatever his name is, who's making the game, said that he's thinking of like 5 new games, but he's just like talking about random games.
Yeah.
I think they said they're going to make it another trilogy.
Okay, that'd be cool.
And then there's a secret like ending scene where if you go back to your house at the start and sleep, you wake up and there's like thunder everywhere, and like Kratos runs outside and he's like, who are you? And it's like the guy that goes to his shoulder, and he like takes away his cape, and it's the big old hammer. It's fucking Thor.
That's insane.
Yeah. Damn. All right, you can come back now.
Spoilers over.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow, it's such a good game.
That makes me want to play it.
Oh.
I actually like spoilers sometimes. Like it makes me want to like get into it.
Oh, so
and
good.
like the build up, you're like, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? So yeah, I kind of like stuff like that. So I'm glad God of War is a sick game. It's beautiful, it plays well.
Some parts are really difficult. Like I said, the after game boss is very difficult. I put the game to the easiest difficulty to beat it, and I still had to try like 50 times.
Did it do anything like take away like Kratos' beard or something and make him look like a big baby? You played on easy mode? No?
No, that'd be so
Wolfenstein
funny.
did that.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was kind of funny. People were up in arms about that, but it's just like, who cares, man?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Another thing is I love the mythology, man.
Yeah, I think it's a little more interesting than Greek mythology, to be honest.
I do too. It's so interesting, and like, of course, like right off the Avengers hype, right?
Yeah,
like when there's like when there's Thor and like all the other gods, and like when you see them in this game, it's just like, oh, that's so cool. Like,
yeah, that's amazing.
Like, I don't think it's a spoiler, but like you get to fight Thor's sons.
Wow.
You actually carry a god on you. The god of knowledge, and that's how you get like all the mythology in the world.
Oh, do you carry his head?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's like you have to cut off my head or something like that.
It's so cool.
That's pretty awesome. Cool, man. I'm glad you like the game. I'm gonna have to stay over and like play it one day because
so good.
I need to try it out. I know going to a friend's house probably either this weekend or next weekend. We're just gonna play God of War. So
it's so
pretty
good.
Excited about that. But you're also excited for another game. State of Decay 2 is coming out for Xbox.
Yep. I don't have an Xbox. I might pick it up on my laptop if it can play it. I don't know. But State of Decay was the first one was so good.
Yeah. So what kind of game is it?
It's a
maybe for people who haven't played State of Decay.
It's like a survival open world type game.
Yeah.
The first game you just get like dropped in the world, and then you have to go like find a base, find survivors, build up your base, find materials, and obviously progress through the story. But the second one is adding like co-op, like better like base mechanics, better like survival mechanics.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a great game.
What was the thing that like made it a great game for you? Like, what was the one thing you loved jumping into the world and?
Base building. Honestly, it was so fun. Yeah. Again, like you have to like go out and find survivors. Maybe like you find them or they contact you somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like under siege and you have to go save them. And like again, when I was playing it, I was like, man, if this game was co-op, it'd be so fun. And then they're doing it. Like it's a great idea. I've heard it's a bit touchy at first, but that's fine. I think the map is a lot bigger in the second one as well. Mm-hmm. But
so what do you want to see mainly in the second one then? What's kind of like popping out for you?
Just a bigger scale game.
Bigger scale?
That's the thing. So Xbox fans are going crazy about this game because it's like one of the only exclusives.
Which we will talk about in a second.
But like, I'm just worried it's not gonna be that. It's not a AAA game. It really isn't.
That's the problem. Is like a lot of these games, like Recore came out as like an Xbox exclusive, and they really pumped it up, but it was like an indie game. Like it wasn't. I started playing it. I've actually been having a lot of fun with it. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you'll be sorely disappointed," but I'm actually having a lot of fun with it so far. I think the mechanics and the action's really good. But it's kind of happening with a lot of Xbox exclusives. Is they're very indie and like low budget, and
I don't know if you can get the first one. I think you can on Xbox One.
Yeah.
I recommend it. I think you'd like
check it out. You definitely can. Yeah, I know you can for sure. And it's not too expensive too.
No,
so
it's
I might
not.
even check that out.
There's no way it's like over $30. I don't think.
Do you think they would include like a battle royale? Is it similar to Fortnite? Because in Fortnite you build bases and structures. And
no, it's nothing like that. It's like you find a house and then you tell.
There's actually houses already, kind of.
Yeah. Or like I think one of the best one in the first game is like this big trucker stop, and you can like, and there's like slots. Like you go to like a map of the house, and then there's like the kitchen. You can build something in. Like you can build a bedroom. You can build like an infirmary in the living room. You can build like something outside, like a garage or like a workshop to make tools. That's and like awesome. Some bases are better than other because they have more spaces to build in.
Yeah.
But it's not like every house. Like you can't go into every house in the game and like build a base. Like there's probably like 8 spaces you can build in the game all over the map with like, and they all have different benefits and stuff.
What's the point of the game? Just survive?
There's a story. Like you have to get through the story, but like like afterwards it's just survive. Or the DLC is pretty much just like survive and do all these certain objectives to get more characters. There's an RPG element too. Like some characters are better at some other stuff. You can customize your characters by making them better with like blunt weapons or sharp weapons or shotguns or pistols.
Yeah.
Your characters like develop relationships. If you gather a lot of materials and bring them back, that gives you like more credit in your camp. And you can also play, say if you have 30 characters in your camp, you can play as all 30 of them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You can switch at any time. Your characters can get injured or tired and they have to like stay back and rest. If they get really sick, you have to build an infirmary or else they're going to like die or something.
Can you like collect gear and like dress your character in like certain...
You can't dress your character, but you can collect like again, guns, weapons, like things to like distract zombies, food, medicine, like you have to go out and find that.
That's one thing I think the Division got really right, is that like the gear that you picked up had certain like level and powers and stuff, but it also like added to what you actually looked like in the game.
I hope they do that.
Games. I think that's pretty awesome.
I think any game, well, not any game, a lot of games can benefit from being a bit more like RPGs in that way.
Yeah, I think so. You kind of feel like more of a relationship with your character when you're able to like dress it up and customize it the way you want it and stuff. So
most times I like stick to like probably like 5 characters in camp that I switch between if they get tired or something.
Any idea if they have any like customization features in State of Decay 2? Any announcements on that?
I don't think so. No. I don't think they do, to be honest. I think they're really focusing on the co-op thing. But again, it's not a AAA game, in my opinion.
So that's something we'll talk about right now. So we do have some confirmed games at E3. And so we're kind of like getting into the E3 mode, and I thought we would like talk about it a little bit. So one thing I will kind of like start off with is that like Xbox is kind of missing. Like I think this E3 is going to be like do or die for Xbox. Like I think a lot of Xbox fans are just like waiting for them to do something. Because Nintendo and PlayStation are coming up with all these amazing exclusive 10 out of 10, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, God of War, and Xbox fans are sitting there going like, all right, where's our games, man? Like,
they said they're going to focus more on like multiplayer style games. Okay, where are they?
Yeah, like where's like, so just for the E3 people who are
I'm not like criticizing this because I hate Xbox. My 360 is right behind this. I didn't buy an Xbox One because there's no exclusives.
Yeah.
Because I can't play the games I want. I couldn't play, like, no, there's no Persona, there's no Final Fantasy VII Remake, there's no God of War, no Last
Final Fantasy VII is coming to Xbox, isn't it?
No.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No, only PS4. I promise.
I don't believe you. Final Fantasy, where are you? You gotta be on this list. Final Fantasy VII, just PS4.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm really annoyed by that. So these are the confirmed games coming to E3. So we got Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchiridion? I don't know what that is. That's going to be on Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, PC. Any opinion on that?
No.
Yeah. Anthem, PC, Xbox One, PS4. I'm very excited for Anthem. I'm like that looks to me like a game that Destiny should have been. So I'm really excited to see if they kind of looked at Destiny and they were like, all right, let's take everything they did terribly and try to put them into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about Anthem at all?
No, I haven't really checked it out.
So it's basically like Destiny if you're in an Iron Man suit.
Oh, okay.
You're like flying, the environments look beautiful, you're in these like armored suits. I think you have different weapons, different play styles and stuff. So and it's like this forested environment and there's like creatures and water and I think you can like swim in the water and stuff.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. So that's one that I'm like really looking forward to. You got Battlefield 2018, Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is confirmed for E3 platforms to be announced. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 coming out for all of them. You got The Division 2, PC, PS4, Xbox One. The Division 2 is something we've mentioned, and I think that Ubisoft does have the potential to have like this awesome franchise with The Division. They just have to take The Division 1, figure out how to make that better, and just take the next step. I think they'll have like a really great game.
I think I'll look into it, to be honest.
Yeah. Like The Division was really good for half the game, but then it just gets really repetitive, and you're like, okay, I know what to expect now. So
I love games like that. That's kind of where something like Persona 5 shined.
Yeah.
Is that like you're always like finding new stuff to do.
Yeah.
Like
The Witcher 3 also very good at that.
Yeah. Like
each quest had its own little surprise, and the developers made a point to do that. So
I think that's kind of what makes a game like really great. Is like when there's more stuff to do, and then other games, like, you can tell, like, halfway through, you're just repeating the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, this is still fun, but, like, it's not special.
The essence of conflict is drama, right? So, like, the way, like, conflict is the whole point of a game, right? Yeah. You're Mario, you have a gap, you have to jump over it, that's the conflict. When you jump over and get over the conflict, that's your Fiero moment, which is a surprise. Like, the essence of fun is really surprise.
Yeah.
And so if you're halfway through a game, there's just no more surprises, the fun just gets drained out of it. So if you have conflict and surprise around every corner, you're going to have a great game, basically.
As a writer, I think the greatest element of writing is always mystery.
Yeah.
I think any great TV show, movie, video game always has some big element of mystery in it.
Yeah.
Think of something like Lost, Game of Thrones, like... stuff like that.
Well, even like Star Wars, like nobody knew who Darth Vader was.
Exactly.
When that was revealed, it was just like, my God.
When there's always that hint or like big thing about mystery, that's what can really like drive someone to be like, what's next? Like, what's going to happen? But
Because there's that conflict and suspense, and then when the surprise happens, it's like, man, this is amazing. This is fun.
You can tell with some games when you've hit that, like, okay, I've seen everything. There's nothing new.
Like the Division 1, which was unfortunate, but I actually did think it was like a really good game, and I think they have a foundation for something amazing. So Division 2 is also going to be at E3. We've got Fortnite, PC, Xbox One, PS4, iOS. The Last of Us Part 2, which is going to be at E3. You pumped up for that one?
Yeah, I love The Last of Us 1. It was so good. I love Troy Baker. I love his work.
I think that's going to be another 10 out of 10 for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
I don't know. It's going to be hard because, like, people are going to compare it to the first, right?
People are going to compare it to God of War, too, I think.
But people always say in gaming that the sequel's better. Unlike movies where it's like, nah. Like,
yeah. Although I've been finding a lot of movie sequels better than the originals.
Really?
Yeah, especially with, like, Avengers and stuff. Like, Captain America 2 was much better. And, like, Guardians of the Galaxy... Nope, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is still the best movie of all time. So that's a bad example. But this latest Avengers was, like, the best of all the Marvel movies. It was so good.
I think it was the best out of, like, the 3 Avengers movie. It's not my favorite or, like, best of all time.
So
in my opinion.
good.
I always wait afterwards because, like, I don't want to ride the hype of, like...
Yeah.
And everyone always says, every time there's a new Marvel movie, this is the best one. This is, like, my favorite. And it's
because they get better every time.
No, that's so not true. I really don't think that's true. I like that
this wasn't a movie about the Avengers. It was a movie about Thanos.
Like,
it was his story. He was, like, the hero of his own story, which was, like, it made it an amazing movie. But that's besides the point.
I wonder if we're going to see that Avengers video game by Square Enix at E3.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I'm surprised. Really cool. I thought maybe they'll release it in time for the next movie.
Could be. Maybe the next, like, series?
Yeah. No, like, the next, like, Avengers, like, the second part.
Okay, could be.
Like, next May.
Because we haven't heard. We've got that teaser trailer.
There's nothing about it.
Yeah. So, Last of Us, definitely really excited about that. I think there is going to be some comparisons to not just the first one, but to God of War, because they're very similar games.
Yeah.
You've got, the parent figure, and then the younger child figure, and then, yeah. Roller Coaster Tycoon for the Switch.
Ooh.
I haven't talked about Roller Coaster Tycoon since, like, 1999.
I still play it to this day.
Really?
Oh, I love it.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it's going to be like a port of the old games or a new one.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
You got Serious Sam 4, Planet Badass, coming to the Nintendo Switch. No idea what that is. It's got purple. That means PC, but you can pre-order it for Nintendo Switch, which is kind of weird.
Strange.
And then the last one, Super Smash Brothers.
Woo!
So we're pumped up about that. We've written a lot about it on Game Savvy, so you can check out GameSavvy.net for that. Mm-hmm. And then, as well, you can comment below what you're excited to see at E3 this year.
And that's only, like, the confirmed it's going to be there.
Yeah, and so we will go through, like, the rumored a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there is a point that I want to make about Xbox exclusives, but we'll talk about Super Smash Brothers for a second.
Because that's the one thing Nintendo said, it's going to be here. You're going to be able to play it at E3.
That's insane.
So
is that far in development?
Well, some people think, like, oh, this means it's got to be a port, but maybe it is
I hope it's not a port.
It's got to be that far in development, right? The game comes out this year.
Yeah.
But that's like a point for a port.
But I'm excited for a new Super Smash Brothers game.
I don't think it's a port, and I don't want it to be.
Yeah, I don't want it to be a port too. I want to see brand new characters, brand new stages, brand new...
I think they'll have new stuff, but like they'll keep the same assets and stuff like that.
I know that's a game that I'm really excited to see at E3.
I'll probably buy it day one.
So in terms of confirmed games, there's not a lot of like crazy exciting ones so far. Like Super Smash Brothers, Last of Us, and The Division 2 and Anthem are the ones that I'm really excited about.
It all depends on what you like, right? Like, we can say there's nothing excited, but I'm sure there's like a million people out there who are so pumped for Call of Duty.
That's true, yeah. I'm not a big Call of Duty fan.
Yeah.
If I were a huge Call of Duty fan, I'd like to see what's in the new Black Ops. So.
I don't like to generalize stuff when like I say like, people, this isn't that exciting.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's tons of people
well,
excited.
especially Beyond Good and Evil 2. I know a lot of people that, and so we still don't have platforms, so nobody knows what that's coming out for, but yeah, I know a lot of people are that. So those are the confirmed games. I think it's going to be a good E3. Every E3 I find is really good.
Well, every E3 is good, but certain companies have good and like not so good E3s. Like,
yeah, that's very true.
Or like there's some games that get announced that are like kind of wonky, like they have weird presentations type deal.
It never goes smoothly, but I think that's one of the charms of E3.
Do you have a favorite E3 moment? I have one.
A favorite E3 moment? None that I can think of. No, not
mine was the Final Fantasy VII remake trailer.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It like gave me chills. Like I was sitting there like, have you seen it? Like you must have seen
with like Cloud walking through. Like,
yeah. I was like, I didn't know what it was at first. I was just watching it, and like the whole time I'm like, this like sounds like Final Fantasy, like. And then, like, kept going. I was like, this sounds like Final Fantasy VII!
Like Final 7!
And then by the end, I was like, this is Final Fantasy VII!
That's amazing. No, I'm hoping for that really good E3 moment because I really haven't had it.
I think it'll happen.
Not a moment that, like, stands out. You know what's going to happen? Is it's going to be Pokemon for Nintendo Switch.
I don't know,
They're going to do something, and I'm just going to freak out. Like, I'm like, yes, this is what I'm waiting for. So here are some of the games that are rumored. We've got Below, which is an Xbox exclusive, which has been rumored for, like, many of years.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for that one. Crackdown 3, another Xbox exclusive that has been rumored for a many of years. We've got Metro Exodus. Okay, so interesting. New Pokemon for Nintendo Switch, rumored.
Yeah, but that's just rumored. Like that.
I know, but like we keep saying that like we're not going to see anything in 2018, but I would love to see it.
I think
even if just a teaser, just like a little taste.
I don't think we're getting Metroid Prime 4 any. Definitely not 2018. Pokemon's a maybe. I think maybe because they still have that Christmas gap.
That's true.
Yes, like I think Smash is coming out with the online service. I've said it many times, but I think if that's the case, they have a big Christmas gap.
Yeah.
And I think Pokemon will fill that. And like, imagine how many sales the Switch is going to get when they announce Pokemon.
So in terms of rumors, we've got Days Gone for PS4, we've got Death Stranding for PS4, we've got Final Fantasy VII for PS4, Ghost of Tsushima for PS4, Kingdom Hearts 3, which is also coming out for Xbox One. But then we have Shenmue 3, Spider-Man, as well as Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And then for Nintendo Switch, we have we've got Kirby, Metroid Prime 4, new Pokemon, and Yoshi. But for Xbox, there's not a lot on there, which is very concerning.
I want there to be. Like, I don't
play
Xbox, but like I want people to have that.
There's Below, Crackdown, and that's it. Below and Crackdown.
Oh, they might show the new Fable. I've heard that.
So I think that Xbox needs to make a splash. And I think the reason why they're not doing anything is for build-up. Because I think this is really going to be a moment. It has to be. They have to have a moment where they're like, oh, you thought we were doing nothing? Well, you know? Like, here's all this stuff you're getting. And Xbox gamers can finally be like, thank you. Like, we finally have something to talk about.
But then again, like, it might be, we have all this stuff, but it's not coming for like 2 years.
That's true, yeah. Which would be weird because if you think about it, like we've been waiting so long, everything should be in development by now. You think something would be coming out soon, but
I love when stuff gets announced and it's like, by the way, next month is coming. Like
Bethesda's really good at that. Bethesda is always just like, here's a trailer and you can play it in a couple months. And
Nintendo
like,
does it too a lot lately.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
They announced all of their E3 is 2018. Yeah, they're not going past. They're not showing anything from 2019, which makes me think that they're going to show a lot.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, because Xbox, you need to step it up a little bit, in my opinion. I think they need to have a big E3.
What is the one thing you really want to see is Pokemon?
Yeah, I think Pokemon would be huge. I would also love Xbox to do something, like a Fable or a Halo or a new Gears of War or like just something.
If they release a new Fable, I will one day get an Xbox.
Yeah, like a Fable would be the one to actually bring gamers over or something like.
Something that a lot of like developers and like Microsoft, PS4, and Nintendo don't understand is sometimes it's smaller games that do sell consoles. Yeah. When I first saw Octopath Traveler, I was like, I want that, and I'm going to get a Switch.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't Mario for me, it wasn't Zelda. But, like, obviously, for a lot of people, it is.
For me, it was definitely Breath of the Wild. I was like, I need that in my life. Yeah. The exploration and the characters and the colors and the mechanics, just, like, amazing. It's honestly one of the best design games I've ever played in my entire life.
I think we're also going to get a Bloodborne 2 at this year's E3.
That's true, too, yeah.
I really hope we do.
So, I don't know. I hope it's going to be shaping up for an E3. We're going to be ramping up our E3 coverage just for you guys.
Should we talk about that now?
No, I think we'll save it for next one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're like far enough away. We'll probably be doing E3 predictions for the next podcast, so you guys can check that out. And if you guys have any E3 predictions, comment below. We'd love to hear them. So I think that's pretty much it for the news.
Trying to think of like that what people like Half-Life 3, please.
Yeah. So we did talk about Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. That was one of the featured content on the site. But I just recently wrote an article about Pokemon Snap, which is a very random game that came out in like 1999. But it's just something that I had on my mind because I thought about the game and I was just like, there's no other game. So the game is about taking pictures of Pokemon in their natural habitats. And you're on this like kind of roller coaster ride just going through and you're snapping pictures. I thought it was really interesting because no other game has ever come out like that.
People love it too.
Yeah.
It's a very popular game.
And so and I think it really is a one-of-a-kind game for a couple of reasons. One is because there hasn't been too many picture-taking games. Like, it's been a mechanic in a game, but there's never been a game just for taking pictures. There's never been like that kind of safari game. And another thing that I really liked about it is that, you know, Pokemon is all about capturing these creatures inside those little balls and using them to battle and to train and do all this stuff. But Pokemon Snap was really about capturing them in their natural habitat, which is kind of an interesting thing because back in the early 90s, I'm dating myself here, is that whenever we had Pokemon, you know, we had the not so great artwork in the 2D Game Boy games.
Yeah.
And then we had the anime. And each one of those I found was like very limited and in controlled environments.
Yeah.
And so like Pokemon Snap was really something that allowed us to get as close as possible to these creatures. And it's the one game that kind of like allowed us to like kind of just see them in their natural habitat for the first time rather than in anime, which is like controlled, you know, you can only see what the animators are showing.
You only watch anime.
And, you know, like Pokemon Snap is the same, like the developers, you know, put it the way they want you to see it, but it was still like just really cool to be that up close and personal with these creatures that we like kind of came to love and stuff. I know as a kid, I dreamed of Pokemon like being real one day. I was just like, I remember reading a book and it said like scientists are working on real Pokemon right now. And as a kid, I'm just like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Obviously, this is real.
Now that I think about it, you know, experimenting on animals and making them fight each other is probably a bad idea. But
have you seen that picture where it's like sleeping with a Pikachu is really cute, and it's like sleeping with Machamp? That's weird as hell. that's what I feel like. You know, you think of Pokemon being real, it's like, that's the best, that's a dream. But, like, you know, some people are going to get real weird with Pokemon.
It's also crazy. Like, if you were to put a Rattata against a Machamp, like, you would just rip it in half.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that side of Pokemon.
Snorlax just, like, falling on an Nidoran and just killing it.
Like, you would low kick it and it's just, like, paralyzed. And you're like, oh my God. Like, you don't see the violence of Pokemon. And what food do they eat in that show? Like, it's got to be Pokemon. Like, there's no, like, normal.
They're cannibalized.
Like, they have to eat Pokemon. Like, what else would they eat?
Pokemon food, like dog food.
I know, but it's got to be other
in the
Pokemon.
wild.
Like,
what are wild?
I'm sure
Pokemon
they're breeding
eating?
like Pidgeotos and like having like chicken fingers and stuff.
Oh my God.
Like, you know, like, I don't know. Just a thought.
It's like have you ever watched BoJack Horseman?
I have, yeah.
Where they have like the animals and then like the non-domesticated. Like, have you seen the chicken episode where there's like chickens, but then there's the wild chickens that they eat? That's so weird.
It is so weird.
I don't want to think about it.
So one great thing about Pokemon Snap is it provided me my greatest gaming moment of all time.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I know it's the most random game and it's the most random thing, but this is literally the greatest gaming moment.
Okay.
So my favorite Pokemon is actually Mew because it was one of the most mysterious things. Like, rumors around the playground were like swirling the whole time.
Yeah.
You're like, apparently there's this Pokemon in the game, but you can't actually get it. It doesn't make sense. So Niantic actually used Mew as a... so it was in the game, but you couldn't get it. So what they would do is like basically come out to our events and we'll unlock it for you. And you get it was a promotional Pokemon, yeah.
Wow.
And so it's one of those things that's it's this mythical, legendary, really strong Pokemon that's cute as hell that's like stuck in this game, but you can't actually get it. There's so many rumors like surfing over to a truck and pushing it over and finding Mew and like all this stuff. So it was just so mysterious. So like when you get into Pokemon Snap, you see Mew in its natural environment, and you're like, this is fantastic. And it appears like really quick.
Yeah.
And so, like, as a kid, I think I was, like, 8 years old when the game came out. As a kid, you're just like, holy crap, there's that legendary Pokemon. I want to get a really good picture of it. And it goes and comes and goes and comes, and, like, you can't get a good picture of it because it's so fast. And so I just randomly, like, I'm going to hit it with something. So I started throwing things at it, and, like, it was just so far and so fast, you'd never be able. So it was pretty frustrating for me. But then I finally hit it. And I was just like, yes, but then it flew away again. And I was like, oh, God. And then I finally hit it, and then I hit it again, and then I hit it again, and then I was getting like closer, and it stuns it, right? And so I finally get up really close, and I snap a picture of Mew, and it's like the nicest picture I've ever taken.
Oh my God.
Of any Pokemon ever. I was like, that's the closest I've ever gotten to this legendary Pokemon. But that wasn't even the greatest part of it. So like later on that week, I was reading my friend's player's guide of Pokemon Snap, and there was like the world record for points for a picture of Mew. And I had actually a higher score than like the world record.
What?
Yeah, but like internet wasn't huge back then, and so like there's no way for me to like, hey, I've got a bigger score. So, but that was like personally like my favorite, like my greatest gaming moment to get like the world record for that, to have my legendary Pokemon there, my favorite Pokemon.
That's funny.
It's weird that Pokemon Snap would provide me with my greatest gaming moment.
I have
funny.
This is like one of mine, I guess I could say, and I always forget about this. I had a world record too in Mario Kart.
Really?
Mario Kart on the Wii. I had a fastest time trial in the world on like a Donkey Kong like mountain or something.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And like I was like probably 12 at the time.
And like it's one of those things that like nobody would believe you. Like,
yeah.
Nobody like.
No, literally. I remember telling somebody once, and they were like, "Nah."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yes, I did."
But like personally, you're just like you feel so like victorious.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So if you guys have any greatest gaming moments, comment below. We'd love to hear about it. What is your like greatest gaming moment of all time?
Oh, I don't even. I'm trying to think. I don't know, man.
You don't know? That's fine. We'll save that for another time. You can come back for next podcast.
Oh, I remember one was my parents grounded me once, like when I was super young. No, like no.
Started off really good. Okay. What'd you do?
I don't remember. Probably like punched my brother or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And you know they're like take away all my electronics, blah blah blah. But like I found where they hid my Game Boy.
Nice.
So I took it and I took it with me to school, thinking like, oh, they'll never notice it's gone. And on the bus, I beat Super Mario World for the Game Boy. They like ported it, right? And it was like the greatest moment ever. I was so happy that I beat it. Like I was like, yo, everyone check this out, I beat this game. We're pulling into like my driveway on the bus, right? And both my parents are standing there.
Oh,
both of them at the same time. Yeah. That never happened.
That's a bad sign.
I got off the bus and like they're pissed. Like they knew I took the game. So it's not like it was great because I beat like this game that I could never like beat as a kid.
Yeah.
But
they're like spanking you, you're like, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Take up the belt, you're like, I don't even care. Yeah. It's worth it. That's amazing. I know that there was one time where, same deal, I was not allowed to bring my Game Boy to school. So I think my parents were afraid of it getting stolen.
Yeah.
But I was like new to this school and I noticed some kids were playing Pokemon. I was like, oh, I have that game too. And they were like, we don't believe you for some reason.
What?
I was like,
everyone had Pokemon.
I was like, this is weird, but okay, I'll bring it tomorrow. It wasn't allowed. And so I brought it and I was playing it. And apparently my mom had to like go to the school that day to like drop something off. She found me in the playground just to like go see her kid. And she's like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like playing my Game Boy. I'm like, Pokemon. She's like, oh, what Pokemon do you have? I was like, Charmit. Oh, God. She's like, oh, what are you doing there? It was like so embarrassing. But I made a lot of new friends that day. Actually, yeah, my best friend. So it was he ended up being my best friend throughout all of elementary school, actually.
What a dick. Yeah. I don't believe you. Yeah, Pokemon.
So that's pretty much it for the podcast section, but we do have some questions that we'll get to. I think we have 2 questions today. So
I always have like standing questions, maybe standing like 1 questions? Or 2 that are fun.
Let's see. So if you guys have any questions for future podcasts, just use the hashtag AskGameSavvy, which I'm going to put up right there. We'll just go through here and we will answer your game-related questions. And try to make them difficult because we appreciate the harder ones. Yeah. They're a lot more fun.
What's your favorite game? Like you always get that one.
Yeah. So with 2018 almost halfway over, what games have exceeded your expectations? That's from Triple C Gaming. Good guy. I've interacted with a lot on Twitter, so you should definitely go check him out. I think he's got a gaming channel. Yeah, so this question's from Triple C Gaming. He's got a gaming channel. I'm going to throw up the link right there. You guys can check him out. Fantastic guy. I've interacted with him on Twitter a little bit. If you guys want to talk to us on Twitter, go ahead. We're always like talking to people.
I love like talking to like small like people like us. Like they're starting out. Like
yeah, it's amazing.
They have a smaller fan base, and it's not like hey, come talk to us and we can like collab on something. It's just like we're just a big family.
It's just nice like running into somebody. It's like, oh, you play the same games. Let's just like talk, and you get so passionate into it and everything you love and hate. And
like we're all in the same boat, right? Yeah. Like we're trying to make it. Like we're trying to do something with like in our spare time, or we're putting our heart and souls into this. And like we all understand. Like we all
it's pretty awesome. So the question is, with 2018 almost halfway over, what games have exceeded your expectations? I'm going to say I haven't even played it, but definitely God of War. with all the hype that's coming from it. I thought it was going to be like a decent game, but like 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Like we had Steven Blomkamp that was on here, who was just like, he was trying to play other games. He's like, no, I'm still too shook by how good God of War is. Like every other game is like crap compared to God of War. Like he's still like affected by it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
Wasn't like that for me. Like it was such a great game, but like...
One game that did ruin me was Breath of the Wild. Just because like the exploration mechanics were like so good in it that when I try to play other games, I'm just like, I wish it were better. I
went from playing Bloodborne to God of War, and I kept using like the Bloodborne control scheme. So I kept dying because I was pressing the wrong button to dodge.
Oh, awful.
Yeah.
So in terms of exceeding your expectations, were there any games that kind of came out? Definitely Monster Hunter World.
Oh yeah,
I think that one definitely exceeded expectations.
Okay. I'll definitely say that then. Monster Hunter was so good. Wait, did that come out this year or?
Yeah, it came out January.
Right. It was. It's such a beautiful game. It's so fun to play with friends. I knew it'd be a great game, but like I'd say it's a new like. If there's I'm into the franchise.
Yeah.
It made me a fan.
Shadow of the Colossus was also one.
Yeah, but like I already knew that was going to be good. It didn't really exceed expectations.
No? Cool. I'm trying to think in terms of nothing's released for Xbox. I would say underwhelming would be Sea of Thieves. I was like really excited for it, but from
big old sea of disappointment.
Yeah. I was like really excited for it. Xbox exclusive. You get to be a pirate. And then it just like every time we put it on Twitch, I'm just like, I don't know about this. It's the same enemies, it's kind of the same environments. I think it could grow into a really awesome game, but a little underwhelming, I would say. So probably Sea of Thieves for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Triple C, for your question. That's amazing. Oh yeah, what would be your underwhelming game?
This isn't this year, but like it was close to this year was the new Call of Duty when it came out in November. I regret it so much.
Dang, why? What was it bad?
Loot boxes, microtransactions.
Oh, that's right. They were pretty gross with that kind of stuff.
Campaign was mad.
Honestly, that's the word for it. It's like gross. Like you feel used. You feel cheap. You feel like we're just like this sack of money that they're trying to like squeeze out of us. Like,
want to know why I bought it though? It's such a bad reason. I'm wearing like my Doctor Who shirt, right?
Yeah.
I saw that David Tennant was in the game in the zombies mode, and like I love David Tennant.
David Tennant is the man.
He plays the 10th Doctor, right? Yeah, as soon as I saw him, I'm buying this game.
Plays the Purple Man too in Jessica Jones, and he's on Broadchurch, which is an amazing show.
I love Broadchurch.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
When I went to go see Infinity War, there was this big poster with him on it for a new movie with him and like. Have you ever seen Misfits?
I don't think
it's
so.
a British show. It was, but like as soon as I saw David Tennant, I'm like, I'm seeing this movie.
That's sick. Yeah.
But that's why I bought Call of Duty. But it was a big disappointment. I paid full price for it. Oh,
yeah, that really sucks. So thank you again for your question. That was amazing, Triple C. I think we have one more question. All right, so this question comes from at Lee_Tyler Lee. Thank you for your question. What do you think about the lifespan of the 3DS? Personally, it frustrated me. It felt like so many of the recent additions to its library should have been on the Switch. I'm glad that the Switch is starting to be utilized properly. So the lifespan of the 3DS. I personally think it's like ancient technology. Like, we all have mobile phones. The Nintendo Switch has beautifully created this hybrid mobile/console thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that they should just... I don't want to say they should just phase it out, but they should just phase it out. Honestly?
My answer about this has evolved in the past couple of weeks because I think it really hit me when they announced Luigi's Mansion remake on the 3DS. Yeah. And again, I still don't like that decision. I don't think it makes sense. That's when like my hatred kind of turned for the 3DS. I love it. It's a great system, but I did think that they should I did think that they should stop the lifespan, stop production.
Yeah. I think they should just stick to the Switch.
But here's the thing. What they said is they want to keep production on and like keep it going is because it's such a cheap product that parents will buy for their kids.
Is it though? Because like a lot of kids are getting consoles, and like if you have $200, like $300, how much is it? 3DS, like $200?
No, you can get one for like $100, $150 now.
I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna spend it on that, I would rather get like two I would rather get two console games than.
Yeah, but think about it. Are you say you have two kids, and you because like especially with, I think a lot of people play Switch in handheld mode.
Yeah.
Like 2 Switches for your kids, that's like $800.
That's pretty expensive, yeah.
If you get 2 3DSs, that's like $300.
Would they get 2 game? Well, yeah, you might actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And the thing is that
I guess our perspective is from like older. We're older,
exactly.
Right?
I
so,
don't
like,
mean
the Game
like
Boy doesn't really
like kids like 10 years old. I mean like they're just starting out like 5, 6.
Yeah.
And like they need something simple to keep their interest. They need something they can put in their pocket.
Yeah.
For car rides, like stuff like that. So I mean, like, I'm glad it's there. I'm glad they're still kind of keeping with it. But like, some games need to be on the Switch that they've announced for the 3DS. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So in terms of the lifespan of the 3DS, I mean,
it's been 7 years. I think they should start to slow down on it.
Yeah, I think so too. Just put everything on the Switch, guys.
Yeah,
that's it.
Or put it on 3DS and the Switch.
Yeah, or both, yeah, because you have the ability to do that. So
yeah.
And that's it. That's it for this podcast. So what are you working on next for Game Savvy?
We're still working on the iconic characters.
Most iconic characters in gaming. That's coming up next week.
I'm still planning to do that Waluigi one about him getting his own game. And then the new one I'm working on is Advance Wars being on the Switch.
That's awesome. Yes, that's
Love that game.
Great. I'm still working on my negative stigma in video games. I found out that I actually have a lot more to say on it than I thought I did beforehand, so it's taking a bit longer.
Happens a lot.
So I'll probably have that out before next podcast. Also working on the iconic video game character. We're collabing on that one.
Yeah.
And then planning for our E3 coverage, which we're going to have come early June. So you guys can take a look at that and be part of it and comment and follow us on social at Twitter, at Facebook, at Instagram, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. It'll be great.
Yeah. And I think that's it for us.
Yep.
And
okay, bye.
Stay savvy, guys.
Yes. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. We should have better outros.